Tekken 8 is no longer Tekken, and with each passing patch, any remaining ties to what the core of Tekken was have been severed, and maybe it is past the point of no return. But many fans throughout the whole world have expressed their hatred for what the developers have done to Tekken. The question I ask to you guys: what the hell happened? But Tekken 8 was supposed to be the next chapter in the most legendary fighting game franchise of all time. After years of waiting, the King of Iron Fist returned. But instead of evolving the series, it feels like Bandai Namco has lost the plot entirely. Today we're going to look at why Tekken 8 is struggling, how the game fundamentally misses what made Tekken so special, and why Season 2, the patches, they might be the final nail in the coffin for competitive play. What Tekken is mainly known for. The core problem: Tekken 8's philosophy is flawed. Tekken 8's loud, flashy, it's exhausting, but what made Tekken 8 beloved series was its unique blend of 3D movement, deep defensive mechanics, and player creativity. Tekken rewarded smart spacing, good movement, patience, and knowing how to punish. But in Tekken 8, it's all about heat. Every character is now incentivized to constantly rush down, burn resources, swing like their life depends on it, because it does. Bandai Namco made aggression the central pillar of the game's design. It was even mentioned in the trailers, but it's come at an expense of depth, and losing what Tekken really was. The matches are shorter, the decisions feel more forced, and it's starting to feel like Tekken is no longer the Tekken we grew up with, and more like another anime fighter trying to be hype for stream clips. The heat system ruins the neutral. This is where things get ugly. The heat system is flat out the most damaging mechanic to Tekken's identity, and the developers, they're fueling it. Heat is designed to make every character dangerous at any moment. Even the most defensive characters now have heat-specific setups that force offense, break defenses, and convert low-damage pokes into massive combos. You get caught in one, you might as well put your controller on the floor and turn vibration off, because it's going to make a hell of a noise. That's not gaming, that's pathetic. But here's the problem: heat isn't earned, it's just given. You don't need to whiff punish, you don't need to land a launcher, you just press a button. Suddenly you're bypassing the neutral, getting free mix-ups, and on some characters, even unseeable 50-50s. This isn't rewarding player skill, it's rewarding coin flips, and in Tekken, where neutral used to matter most, that is unacceptable. Season 2 is an absolute disaster. Now, just when the community was starting to cope with Tekken 8's wild meta, Bandai Namco recently dropped balance changes that feel like a fevered dream. Characters that were already strong, buffed. Characters with weak defensive options still left in the dust. The Season 2 patch leans even harder into offense, heat buffs, combo extensions, more force scrambles, and worst of all, safe launches becoming the norm. It's as if Bandai Namco took every complaint from Season 1 from the fans and said, "Oh, you think that's bad? Here's more. We've already got your money, buddy. We've already got your money in our pockets, so it doesn't matter what you think." That's right, we know how much of a piss take it is with the in-game purchases and all the DLCs, and the cost of deluxe editions in general, where you still have to keep paying more and more. But what used to be a game about small pokes and tight defense is now just who's got the crazier heat route. Defense is dead. It used to be one of Tekken's crown jewels. Sidestepping, ducking highs, block, punishment, all of it made Tekken feel like a high-stakes chess match, but with Season 2, the game barely lets you play defense. It's like it's trying to mimic crappy street fights where somebody just attacks each other in a car park with no defense whatsoever. Maybe that's the fan base they're going for, not actual martial artists. Now, you have guard breaks everywhere, armor properties slapped onto moves left and right, and chip damage when you're already on the back foot. Heat literally punishes you for blocking. How did we get here? How did we get here? The community is already divided. Players are split. Some love the chaos, sure. If you're a highlight reel player, it's amazing, but if you're a tournament player, or let's be honest, a core Tekken fan, a competitor who loves the Tekken fundamentals, you're watching the series you love turn into Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but on steroids and all the drugs active at the same time, but without the defensive depth to balance it. The problem isn't that the game is aggressive. Tekken has always had aggression. The problem is Season 2 forces it, encourages it, removes meaningful player choices, and shrinks the skill gap between the casual and the competitive player. Now, can Tekken 8 be saved? To be fair, Bandai Namco has saved Tekken before. Tekken 7 was rough in Season 1, but it matured into one of the most balanced games in the series by Season 3 and 4. So yes, we do have to fork out a bit more money to get there. You know, it's just that way now. But right now, Tekken 8 is stuck in a direction that prioritizes flashy YouTube clips over solid, competitive gameplay and skill, and Season 2 just poured petrol on the fire. Season 2 doubled down on the hyper-aggressive heat system. Way more plus on block, home in and safe launcher moves, stronger heat buffs to already aggressive characters, and given fewer tools to escape pressure. It's like the game says, "Finish him!" right after it says round 1 fight. I mean, the increased chip damage and heat mode for any character's buffed moves are inherently guard breaking or cost force scrambles. Some characters now have plus frames even after you block their strongest moves. Movement heavily restricted compared to past Tekken games. You can't readily sidestep out of chaos. You just can't be patient anymore. Blocking is actively punished. Feng was already ridiculous. His heat smash got safer and more oppressive. Azu John Cena got heat buffs that made her already insane offense borderline unstoppable. Claudio Victor, Hwarong, and others got buffs that made their offense turbocharged, whilst characters with weaker tools like Dragunov, Asuka, they receive almost nothing meaningful. Tekken has basically devolved into who gets heat first, who has the cheapest heat route, who can overwhelm the opponent before they get to play. The patch ignores community feedback, such as requests to reduce heat reliance, buff movement, and tone down safe launches. This is why people are frustrated. It's not just because the game is aggressive, it's that the patch ignores what players clearly asked for the sake of balance, and Bandai doubled down. I mean, think about it. You get damaged if your throw is blocked. Not everybody wants to fight like a juggle master. That was the beauty of Tekken. You get to fight like a grappler if you want to. Everybody's different. But now, let's just feed the linear path of heat and aggression. Everybody's a Power Ranger. Tekken has become Dragon Ball Z. Tekken seems like it's trying so hard to become Dragon Ball Z. I remember back in the day, I used to battle with Jin versus Kazuya, and if you get off a really strong punch against each other and the screen explodes, it takes some skill to actually pull that off, but now you can do it at the press of a button anytime, and it looks like you're fighting in the Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga every single match. Tekken 8 is not Tekken. And I love Tekken, I want Tekken 8 to be so good, but you can't fix a problem if you don't admit there is one. Season 2 has made the game worse, plain and simple, and if Bandai Namco don't listen soon, they risk alienating the very players who have kept this series alive for almost 30 years. So overall, overly aggressive design, bad balance in Season 2 made it worse, nerf movement, matches feel scrambled, the online netcode is still mid. Bandai hyped up the rollback netcode. In reality, its rollback still feels rough, delay-like and inconsistent, janky online, unfun if you're serious about learning the game, alienates legacy Tekken fans, matches feel chaotic, less like chess and more like coin flips. That's the age we're in. Tekken didn't evolve, it devolved. It's sold out. Drop this video a like, comment with your thoughts, subscribe for video game content. 100% video game content on all games, past, present, and future. More fighting game content is on the way, but remember, defense isn't truly dead, it's just waiting for the right patch.